Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, my Periscope family. This is Kelly Ramsey with Developing People. We help you to discover the greatness that's within you, to discover your dreams, your ambitions. We help you to develop them to the fullest potential possible. And then we help you to launch every program, every idea, every goal into fruition. Because a dream, a goal, a vision written in a notebook, not carried out, is wasted time and energy. And there's someone waiting for you to discover, develop, and launch your vision and your goals. So that's what we do. Welcome. I see we have 3 people maybe online, maybe more. Let me know who you are, where you're from. And we're going to get started this morning. So today is Wednesday. It's Working Wednesday. And what we focus on Working Wednesday are practical tools to use in your business, in your everyday work, in your work life. And so last week we talked a little bit about creating space for our work, right? And so a little update. And so after I did that broadcast, I looked at some work I had to do, some writing I had to do, and I created space for that. And I left the building and I went to Panera and I wrote and I accomplished part of my task. I didn't accomplish it all because I was multitasking, listening to a webinar, but I did accomplish part of my task. So I have to create some more space this week and do some more writing, but it works. So because I had an intention to get it done, created the space, showed up in the space, and did the work, then I was able to see some results. So I'm really excited about that. If you think this is a topic that will be helpful to others, please share it. Excuse me. And so you swipe up for Android, to the left for iPhone. So please share it. So today's topic is setting your agenda. And when I think of agenda, lots of things come up. And so I'm going to explain the importance first of setting agendas, and then we'll tell you some different types of agendas that you set. And the other piece on the creating space, we also have to create space for our health and wellness. And so yesterday I got back to the gym and I created space to go work out and used it. Drove myself to the gym even though I did not feel like it, and got out, got my workout clothes on, and started walking, and immediately my body kicked in, was like, thank you, God, she's back. She came back. And so it amazed me that even our body knows what's good for it. And us tapping into that and paying attention to how our body moves and how we react and how it responds. And so when you are in the place that you're supposed to be, your body will respond to that place and be like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, right? But what it is we have to change our mindset. Our mind says, oh, that's going to be too much work. That's going to hurt. But our body will respond naturally to what it's in sync with. And it's in sync with moving and exercise and agility. And so I was just paying really close attention to that yesterday. So if you're not working out, walking, simple stuff. Walking is the best workout you can get. If you're not at a gym, walking outside, getting fresh air, breathing fresh air. It's so important. So that's my little plug for health. So make sure you do that, health and wellness. So today's topic, it's imperative first that you have an agenda, right? Agenda for your day, for your work, and for your life. And so it's not something that, oh, do I really need that? Yes, you really do need that. It's imperative. And here's why. When you are focused on really living life to its fullest, you don't do that haphazardly. You make a plan for that. You set a space for it. And when you set the space, it creates the opening, and then you can walk into the things that are there in that opening, right? So one, it's imperative for you to have an agenda. The second thing is that it's imperative because it dictates what you will see as reality. So my agenda, as you know, I'm a master planner. So my agenda I use is the Franklin Covey planner. And so that agenda tells me where I need to be, what time I need to be there, because I keep my schedule in there. It's my daily schedule and my weekly and my monthly schedule in there. It lets me know also what's priority. So what have I planned to take care of today? Family is priority. Home is priority. Work is priorities because I want to be a good worker and a good servant. Ministry is priority as well. And so in my agenda, you'll see all of those things placed in my daily work, my weekly plan, my monthly calendar. And so that dictates where I'm going to spend my time and what I'm going to invest myself in. And so that's the second thing. It's imperative that you have an agenda. Second, it dictates what you see realized in your life. The third thing is that it structures you. It structures your work. It structures your day. And so when I get up in the morning, I'm getting the boys ready for school. We are in the car. We do our prayer and our devotion, and I drop them off. But somewhere in that time, I take a peek at my calendar on my phone, because you can sync your calendar to your phone. And I remember, in my head, I remember what I need to do, but I just need to make sure I didn't miss anything. Like, where do I need to be? So this morning, I need to be at one of my sites at 9 o'clock. I know I need to be here with you on Periscope at 8:30. I know my drive time takes me 15 to 20 minutes to get to the main office. And so I have a 9 o'clock. I'm not going to go to the main office. I'm going to go to the site. And then I'm going to sit in my car and Periscope with you because I have, time? 45 minutes. And do my Periscope, get some coffee, and be ready for my 9 o'clock meeting, right? And so the structure of my work is already scheduled out. I know I'm going to finish that meeting. And then I have another meeting at 11. I have about 45 minutes in between for drive time, for thinking, to set my agenda for that meeting. And then after that, I have nothing until this evening. And so then I know I can get some work done. I'll go to my office and get some work done. Had I not had a schedule that was written down, I wouldn't know how to plan my day. So if someone calls me and says, hey, can you meet me for lunch? I'll be like, yeah, sure. I would meet them for lunch. I say 12 o'clock. And then I look at my calendar and, oops, I have an 11 o'clock. I'm not going to be finished with that by 12 and be able to get to a restaurant to have lunch. So my schedule dictates, like I said, our reality, but it's structured. So it tells me, no, you can't do lunch at 12 o'clock. You could do lunch at 1 or maybe 12:30. But then what happens to your work time that you set aside to get your work done in that time? So lunch today probably wouldn't be a good idea because it's going to take away some of your work schedule. So that's what it does. So you do that. That's just a day. So imagine a whole week of what that looks like, a whole month, a whole year, right? And the structure also helps, this is the fourth point, helps you to tell your story over time. It helps you to see, where have I been? What have I been doing? So maybe I didn't reach all of my goals, all my tasks weren't complete. Where did I spend my time? I can go to my planner and I can see, oh, I was out in the field going to visit sites. I was doing some one-on-one coaching. That's where I spent my time mostly on those days. I was traveling 2 weeks out of the 4 weeks. So obviously I'm not going to make a lot of progress in that month in certain areas because of that travel. And then in the year, I can look back on my calendar, on my system, on my agenda, and I can see, where was my focus time? Where was my effort? So if I'm running my business and my consulting business, and I haven't put in the time or effort to do that, except for like 2 little spurts in April and September, that's all the work that I did for the entire year. Am I going to have results from that? No, I won't have results. And so you have to be able to use it as a tool to look at where you're going to get results. So the last piece is, there's different types of agendas and agenda setting. So like I mentioned, the calendar, your weekly plan is one. Also setting an agenda for your meetings that you have. I am a big advocate of not wasting time. So I hate long meetings that don't have any results, that don't have a written agenda to follow. We don't know why we're meeting, and we're sitting there for 2 hours and we leave and nothing gets done. No action plans or anything. That's wasted time, right? And then I always think of also, when we're having all these long meetings, how much does it cost for each person to sit in that meeting? So if I'm making 6-figure income a year and I sit in the meeting for 3 hours, I'm costing, or I'm using that time and energy to spend on something that's not fruitful. And so if we start to look at, the people who are calling to meetings, and what's the value of their time. If my time is $150 an hour, that's $300 that I've spent sitting in a meeting not being fruitful. And so that's wasted, $300. So if we start to think of that, we would call the right people to the meeting who need to have the conversation. We would be efficient and have an agenda set as we're getting ready to talk about it. And we would be dutiful in getting the work done, having an action plan, who's carrying out what. And so that's a whole nother scope, but you get the point. And so the other part is that you also set an agenda for the projects that you want to work on. So 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, our mastermind group did a revenue action plan. And so 3 of us got together. We have a bigger group, but 3 of us for this one got together, and we created our revenue plan for the rest of this year. And so the focus of that project was to forecast what do we need to make dollar-wise, and then what projects are going to help us to make that dollar amount. And so that was our sole focus to do that. We spent 7 hours working on that plan, but we had an agenda set. This is what we need to do, what we need to bring, how we need to go about it. So at the end of that 7 hours, the 3 of us walked away with parts of our plan already intact, some of it fully developed. But then the next part is adding the projects and pricing and all those pieces. But we have a framework because what? We had a plan, an agenda for what we wanted to do and set. And then also when you're meeting one-on-one with people, you're having coaching sessions, plan ahead of time of those sessions. So my framework for the work I do every day, we have a framework of coaching for our early childhood leaders. And so that's the framework that I start the conversation out with. And we started out not with, boom, just get to the information. We do a little check-in. How are you doing? And how's it been going? How are you feeling? What's something exciting you did? So we do all of that relationship building piece. Then we get to the set agenda that we have. We figure out the action plans, action steps. What are we going to be talking about next time that we meet? Because we meet weekly. And then what are your next steps as we go through there? So that's a little bit on setting your agenda. And there's a lot of content in this. And so we'll be revisiting it and working out some, blocking on some to give you some more detailed perspectives of that work. So have an awesome day. Go set your agenda if you haven't set your agenda for the day. And as simple as getting out a piece of paper and saying, I need to be here, here, here. This is my schedule where I need to be. Here's my time blocks that I have. And this is how I'm going to use it today. That simple. Have a great day, and I will see you back here tomorrow. It's Time Management Thursday, and so we'll tag on this on how do you manage those time on your agenda, and I'll give you a tool that I just started using, and maybe it'll be helpful for you. So have a great day. Bye-bye.